Man, Brian, it's been tough. A whole year we haven't had any comic conventions.
Well, Mark, I have news for you, buddy.
I mean,
East,
how do you get rid of all that stuff that's behind you? You got tons of stuff.
hold on. I got big news. Big news.
All right. What do you
East,
got?
East of the River Comic Book and Collectibles Show is returning.
Oh, man.
June 27th from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. It's only $1 to get in, and they're going to be doing early bird at 8 a.m. for $3. Um, this is like huge. We're coming back.
It's huge.
Yeah, but the craziest thing is this is going to be one of the biggest locations ever, the safest locations ever. Sports on 66. It's an indoor sports facility, so everybody has plenty of space.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of that place. It has like a soccer field. It has a basketball court.
Yeah.
There's gonna be tons of space in there.
It's in East Hampton, Connecticut. We have flyers online. There's a Facebook page, an event page. You just type in East of the River Comic Book and Collectibles Show. You'll see it. Join it. It has all the information, all the updates from Scott Pellin, and he's actually looking for vendors right now.
And he's gonna have a lot of space for vendors, so get in there now if you got a chance.
Yes. So if you are interested in being a vendor or interested in going to the show, find us on Facebook at East of the River Comic Book Collectible Show. Message Scott, and hopefully he'll get you a space. We'll keep everybody posted here weekly about how everything's going, and we hope to see you at the show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, Geekonomics, the gray shirt edition. Me and Brian called ahead of time. We talked beforehand. We lined up the color shirts we're going to wear today. It's a gray day outside here in the Connecticut, Massachusetts area, so we decided we're going to wear gray shirts. So, how you doing, Brian?
I am doing good, Mark.
I feel like it's been like 12 hours since I've seen you, which is strange.
We saw each other the most we've seen each other in person in a year this past weekend.
In over a year.
And we saw Rocky and Stephanie. We saw Benny. We saw Matt Ryan. I saw Scott Pellin. Like all these folks I haven't seen in over a year.
All the folks at the 5K that showed up to Sarah showed up to Matt's thing yesterday.
Right. I mean, I almost forgot how to act, and then a part of me was just like, God, I hope I know how to socially act with people, because I think I don't know how to act in front of people anymore. Like
I realized
I don't know. I hope I didn't scare anybody.
More than any day that you are way more socially content than I am. Like Why? You can talk to anybody for long periods of time and be okay with it. I, on the other hand, I can't anymore. It's like if I don't want to be in this conversation, I just walk away.
Mark,
I think it comes from this situation where it's like I could just turn off or mute if I don't want to listen.
I mean, I talked to you all weekend. I talked to
No, I mean just because I think it's because you're in your vendor mode as opposed to regular social mode.
Oh, I met Dave. Seems like a really cool, nice guy. I hope to see him at the next show. Just great to meet new people and who have the same interests as me. So I don't know. I like people. I want to meet new people and talk to new people, and I like being a vendor. I think that's my favorite part. It's not selling stuff. I mean, that's a bonus, right? But I like meeting new people and like seeing regulars and talking about like the comic book world with others. You know, I don't know. I kind of like that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, we're talking about Free Lunch Comics did their flea market yesterday outside of the Free Lunch Comic Studios.
Yeah.
Which was a nice as I was there, I was like, it was a nice get back into socializing with people again.
Right.
It was a nice get your feet wet kind of situation. Because it has been a year and a half since I've had actual conversations with anyone else besides family members, basically. in person. So it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the 5K was great. You know, a bunch of people showed up. Like
Yes.
it
I
was
want
a
to thank everybody who came
fun
out.
event.
I did it on Facebook. I want to thank you, Brian, for supporting
Yeah,
me
of
doing a
course.
5K and everyone else for coming out. I know some people were angsty that I didn't like conversate with them during the walk.
Because you told them you weren't
Well, I
talking to
wanted to like,
anyone.
give them a heads up. I'm not gonna be jibber jabbering for 3 miles.
But then you did.
Well, because I just got stuck with the Sarah and Jonas and just ended up talking with them. I didn't know. Never done one before.
I
I
mean,
just want to let people know that when I walk, I wear headphones. I'm going to do that during this. I don't know how it's going to go. I've never done a 5K before. I might end up talking. I might not, but just be warned.
I got in my stride and I try to stay at my
two
own
birds
pace.
fighting on my roof outside my house.
I stayed at my own pace.
All this noise in the background of you here.
I had my music on. Claire wasn't that far. She was in front of me, and then way ahead was Matt Ryan and Jackie, and then way behind us, I think Claire. I think I passed Claire.
Yeah,
I think
Claire
she
was behind you. She said she finished behind you.
Yeah, she was behind, and then way back was you and her sister and family.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. You just do it at your own pace. I don't, if someone was walking right beside me and they wanted to talk, I would have talked, but there was no one walking at my pace. So I just headphones in. But it was beautiful. We had the wind in our face at the going back.
Yeah.
But if they do it again next year, I will definitely do it again. It was nice. And Kristen and Debbie showed up with a little tag, and they ran. They're the only ones I know who actually ran it, which is
well, no,
cool.
Kat ran it too. She was there. Kat, her mom, and her friend.
I don't
from
know
hockey.
them, really.
Yeah, but she ran. And my cousin's wife, Kelly, who was also there at the beginning with us, she ran.
That's cool.
So
yeah, I mean, it was a great time. And
then a guy who I know from go-karts saw the post I made the night before, and he signed up and he ran. So
yeah,
there you go.
And then Sunday, Matt, everybody had face coverings. It was just great to see people in person, make some money, meet new people. It was like only 5 vendors. I bought a graphic novel from a local artist. She's 21.
Yeah.
She's in college. She published her first graphic novel, and she did all the
she's
artwork.
one of Matt's former interns, students.
Yeah. I have it over there, or I would get it, but
that's fine.
I think it's so cool. So, it was a great time. I think the whole weekend was great. I saw you and Matt Ryan all weekend.
Yeah.
The most I've seen you guys.
I hung out with Matt Ryan the whole weekend because we did the 5K, and then he came up to the hideout, and then I came home and showered and everything, and I was going to chill before the basketball game and just relax, kind of like recuperate from the 5K. And then he texted me and he's like, "Hey, there's no one else here. Come hang out with me." I'm like, "Well, I got to get dinner and stuff." He's like, "Well, just get dinner and come here and eat dinner here." So, and Claire was like napping. She like passed out after. She was freezing. She wore the wrong pants. She wore really thin leggings and didn't realize it was going to be as windy and cold as it was. So she was frozen by the time we got back. We drove back with the heater on and I was like dying, and she's like freezing. But
yeah, spring weather sucks like that.
Yeah, it was very weird. But
you don't know. Like, I was sweating. I had a hoodie on. I was freezing.
Yeah.
And then halfway through, I took that hoodie off because I was sweating. So it's like you wear layers.
And Brian also did the 5K for all you out there. He did his 5K in jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah. So it was windy.
Okay.
And why not? I can walk in jeans.
All right.
People walk.
There's also a great video which I'll grab off Facebook and post in our on our page of me finishing and the whole finish line falling apart.
Yeah.
Which is pretty hilarious.
Because the wind picked up right when you walked through.
Yeah, and then like it knocked every cone over.
And you just kept walking.
Well, because I told Claire about this because I showed her the video last night. She's like, "Why didn't you try picking up the cones? Why didn't you help pick up the cones?" I was like, I was in like at the end of the thing, and my body was like, "We're done now. We can stop doing. We can breathe now." So as I'm finishing, I see the cone in front of me falling, and it has like a pole on it. So there's like a microsecond thing of me in my head going, I'll grab this and keep it up. But then I noticed it was attached like all the way behind me. So my brain was like, okay, you go to grab this, you trip over something, you end up falling and hurting yourself, and then you can't go on vacation. Don't pull a Francia and get your leg broken by your dog headbutting you.
Yeah.
Just let it go. There are people behind you can take care of it. So that's why I just kept going.
Okay. Good excuse.
That all happened in my head, and like it all rationalized in my head in seconds. But yes, John Francia, we hope you're okay. Supposedly you have a broken leg.
He didn't say broken.
He says he has a hairline fracture in his leg.
That's not broken.
That's a fracture of your leg is a broken leg.
I disagree, because a broken leg would be cast, and you'd be.
If you have a hairline fracture, you could need a cast.
I don't. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
Neither is John, but he says he has a broken leg.
He said he has a hairline fracture from Star headbutting him in the.
Yes. Yes. Only Francia can get injured by his dog.
We hope you get better. I'm not a doctor, nor do I know. I've never broken a bone in my life, and I hope to keep it that way. So I don't know.
I've broken multiple, as you know. I've broken multiple, so I know what it's like to break a bone. So,
but he didn't break his leg. He had it. He bruised his shin or got a hairline fracture of some sort.
All right.
Breaking would be like, you got to go to the hospital or the doctors, and they have to reset it. And
all right. Well, we'll ask the folks in the social
there's a lot
media
more that goes into breaking.
You have a hairline fracture of your leg, isn't that considered a broken leg?
Then it would be called a broken leg, right? Why would you even have two terms for the same thing?
Because that's what fracture means, broken.
Hairline.
That's still broken, though, technically.
But maybe it depends on where it is, too. You could have a hairline fracture. He said shin.
That's still your leg.
Well, like, what if you got a hairline fracture, like, on a certain bone in your ankle?
It's broken.
That would have to be in a cast because it couldn't move.
Yeah.
But if you got it on your shin...
That's still part of your leg. You could still...
You'd have to put your leg up and where maybe have to use crutches, but you wouldn't have to get a cast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's still a broken leg, though. You still have a broken bone in your body. It's fractured.
I don't know. You know what? Beyond us just sitting here and guessing...
The name of your video game that you love so much is called Fractured Butthole. That means it's a broken butthole.
It is a broken butthole.
Yeah, so there you go.
So maybe John has a broken leg. I don't know.
There you go.
So you know what? We won't know
until I've decided he has a broken leg.
Until we actually hear from the man himself, we don't know. So just
as a professional video podcasting doctor that plays one on TV but not in real life.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that's a broken leg.
Okay. All right.
There you go. Decision made.
Doesn't even bother me any which way.
I mean, me neither, but I just, whatever.
All right, let's.
But anyway, so the 5K was great. We had a great time.
Yeah, we did it all.
Everyone coming out and doing it.
Yeah, it's great.
And then Matt's show yesterday was awesome. It was great to see Scott, like you said. Great to hang out with him. Hear about the show that he's got going on in June, which is going to be amazing. Which, if you haven't decided to go to this, you need to decide to go to this. There's going to be over 60 different vendors, we heard, are going to be at the show. So there's going to be a lot to do and a lot to see and a lot to purchase. So save up your pennies.
We'll make a new ad next week when we
start collecting your cans and bottles.
It's $1 to get in. June 27th. If I'm not mistaken, 10 to 2:30.
Sports on 66.
Right.
It's a huge space. We might even open a second floor. He is saying
everything's in the show notes.
Yeah.
But we have news, Mark. We have news.
We have news.
We got news.
You got the news. You got the news.
The big thing. This is interesting. That Jeff Goldblum. You hear about this?
I did not.
Jeff Goldblum's next big project. Could you guess what it is?
Jurassic World 7.
No.
No.
Disney. No. It is a D&D podcast.
Oh, I did hear about this. You mentioned this. Yes.
Jeff Goldblum is joining the voice cast of the popular Dungeons and Dragons podcast Dark Dice for their upcoming season. Now, Jeff Goldblum does have a really cool voice.
He does.
So he'd
be a good narrator for something like that.
Well, it would be a DM.
Yeah.
He could be playing a character. I think he's a character.
That'd be even better.
So Goldblum has worn several different hats. Blah 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 blah. He will debut May 12th when the next season of the award-winning podcast launches. He'll be featured as one of the 5-player characters, and it's improvised. So that's kind of cool. So I might subscribe and listen to this. It's an improvised audio drama where the outcome of the story is determined by the fate roll of the dice, hence D&D. As part of the quest, Goldblum's team will be stalked by a deceptive being known as the Silent One, who must be identified before it's too late. So maybe he's part of the team. They have to figure out who this person is.
Silence.
Hold on. The role-playing podcast features immersive soundscapes, a diverse international cast, and original soundtrack. So it sounds like it's fully produced.
Wow.
It even features an orchestra. Oh my God. Over 30 medieval instruments, a live chorus singing. Oh my God. They sing in Infernal, Icelandic, and Elvish. Man, I really got to listen to this.
This is getting interesting now.
The storyline also carries an unexpected emotional depth that unravels in each episode, released monthly in all podcasting platforms. So that starts in May. When did I say it starts?
It's going to start soon.
May 12th.
That's next week.
I know. So Dark Dice. Man, this sounds pretty awesome. Man, all right, I'm down. I am definitely going to subscribe to this. Dark Dice, May 12th, Jeff Goldblum. It sounds pretty freaking awesome. You okay, Mark?
Yeah, it's like I noticed there's a wasp like in between.
Stop getting distracted by things. We don't have much
dangerous.
time.
It's dangerous. I don't want to get inside the house.
It's not going to get in the house. You're fine.
Well, the window's down a tiny bit on the top, so I'm worried he's going to find his way in.
Well, why don't you stick it up?
Well, that means I have to get up and do it. So I don't want to leave the show here. So we'll finish this. So we got this going. He's fine right now.
You're staring. Just go do it, and then you don't have to worry about the wasp getting in.
Talk about the next thing. I'll be back in a second.
Oh my God! I'm so glad you're prepared.
I am prepared.
I don't think so.
Wasp scared me.
So they announced a new cast member for the new Game of Thrones, which I have thoughts about. House of Dragon set photos give first look at Matt Smith. Yes, Doctor Who, that Matt Smith in Game of Thrones prequel. And I know it's going to be different showrunners.
Well, hopefully the other one sucked.
Yeah, it's different showrunners, and that this series based on Martin's Fire and Blood and focuses on the history of the House Targaryen. I mean, Matt Smith's a great actor. He was in The Crown.
Yeah. Played Prince Philip.
Listen, I know HBO's got the cast. I know HBO's got the money. I know they got the budget, and I know it'll probably be good. But I've been burnt by Game of Thrones, and a part of me feels like I'm going to wait it out, and I'm not going to dig into this show until, like, maybe I'll just never watch it until it ends, and if I hear it ends well, then I'll watch it. But part of me, I don't know how I feel. I'm not even that excited. Are you excited? Am I the only one here? Because I
don't know. Like, I was never really like a huge Game of Thrones person.
I mean, I got into it.
I got into it, but I wasn't John Francia into it. I wasn't like, I don't have the books or anything. So
you could still be into it without the books.
Well, I mean, I'm not like crazy into it. Like, I'm not like.
Once I finally got into the show, me and Allison were hooked, right?
Yeah.
We couldn't get enough. We flew through those seasons, and then we watched the last 2 seasons in real time with everyone else.
Yeah.
And you could just tell the quality had dropped and everything was just moving so quickly comparatively to the older stuff. And I would argue, for me personally, the journey of the first Game of Thrones is a worthy watch. I don't regret it. It's just they just didn't
had a
stick
flat
landing.
ending.
Yeah,
That's all.
but
not everything's gonna be a great ending.
The fighting, the battle scenes was something really.
Well, it's movie quality is what
I've
it was.
never seen a TV show pull. The Battle of the Bastards still sticks with me to this day.
Yeah.
So it's like a part of me is like, it's like I got PTSD from it. It's like, I want to dive in, but at the same time, I might just wait to see what the verdict is in the first season at least before I even bother caring. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Mark?
I mean, I'll probably try it out and see how it goes. I mean, with Matt Smith being a cast member, that might be a little bit more of a pull for me to try it out more than I probably would have beforehand.
Right.
But, not anything I'm like anticipating to see.
Right. Yeah.
So
it's going to be coming out estimated for 2022.
All right. Well, it's just next year, so
it's next year.
Not far away. Yeah, I mean, Bill's already booking signings till next year, so why not?
Yeah, there you go. And then on a show that we're going to talk about the second half of this podcast, Invincible.
Yes.
Invincible, right before the final episode dropped, Amazon announced they're renewing it for seasons 2 and 3, which was pretty big. And there was a great video on Twitter of Robert Kirkman calling Stephen Yang, and he calls him up on his phone, and he's like, "Hey, I got some news for you." And he's like, "Yeah, wow, what's up?" And then I don't know, it could have been planned. He's like, "We're renewed for season 2." And he's like, "What? And season 3?" And Stephen's like, "What?" And Robert Kirkman's like, "Yeah." And it was a cool, nice little video they put out there to kind of help promote it.
Yeah.
It's also funny how, like, poor Stephen, he gets killed off, and probably one of the most gruesome death scenes on one of the favorite characters of The Walking Dead being killed off the most horrific
so gruesome
way.
It made you stop watching the show.
Fuck Walking Dead. The show sucks. That show blows. It does suck. After that, I was like, fuck the show. I don't give two shits. And the show's finally ending. And guess what? I said to Allison, I said, "Do you know Walking Dead's finally ending?" She goes, "That show's still on?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah."
And Fear Walking the Dead's still on somehow.
I don't know anybody who watches it at all. I personally,
I know one person who watches it, so I can't really.
Who?
My brother-in-law watches it, so.
Oh, there you go. My brother does watch it, and I think my grandfather watches it. So I'm lying when I say that. I'm being hyperbolic here.
You are.
But
extra angry.
In our friend zone, I think we all kind of dropped off.
Yeah.
I don't know if John's still watching it or not.
I don't know. Who knows? He's got a hairline fracture. Was like, he might be watching it now.
Maybe. I'm just saying. It's. I always think about when Wally came in with Matt Ryan. We were talking about The Walking Dead, and Wally said, "Oh, the dragging dead," because it just drags on and on and on.
Yeah.
And that's what the comic book was doing. And he goes, "That's what we call it." And I'm like, no, sticking up for it. And then I'm like, yeah, I get it now. It is the dragging dead. It's just like, put the show out of its misery by now.
Yeah.
I don't really feel a show should last this long. It
really hasn't lasted that long, though. It's only been how many seasons?
11.
That's it's a little bit longer than most, but not crazy amount as some others have.
Yeah, but in this day and age,
Simpsons is up to like what, 30?
But that's a cartoon. That's so different.
Yeah, I guess.
A drama, like some of the best dramas know when to end it. Walking Dead, the AMC's like, "You're the only thing we got, baby.
You're our tentpole. You're sticking around until we."
AMC was like the best. They had so many great shows, and now it's like they only have a few. And I think like Walking Dead is still like their.
Well, the thing is now, like I was just thinking about it, like as you're talking about it, if the show's been on that long, how long can these zombies like continue being? Like, wouldn't they have like rotted away by now?
Yeah, I think they've changed them over the years to be more skeleton, but at that
Wouldn't she
point,
be more like wouldn't
they
the
would just
show
fall
finally be
apart.
about like the rebuilding of the society at this
Yeah,
point?
the zombies would have fallen apart because of the weather. It
Yeah, wear and
miraculously
tear.
never snows in this
Yeah, they don't
area.
like
It's always
if
hot.
they eat, they don't like get muscle tone or anything.
Right. Yeah, they just like
They should
they
just be
would
like dead at this point. You just like you're surviving. You should be surviving The Walking Dead at this point.
the sun would bake them,
That's what
and
I'm saying. Yeah,
their parts would just fall off.
yeah,
And they have the strength. To have the strength at this point to rip into anybody
yeah.
is
They don't even have
beyond me.
the yeah,
The body mass and the muscle
yeah,
mass has got to be so gone.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This is weird. But anyway,
I mean, if anyone just dies naturally, you just double tap them, and then you don't have to worry about it.
all right, let's trade back. If you like The Walking Dead, great. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I just
Or if you like The Walking Dead, explain to us what's going on with the zombies now. Have they
I-
like? Has there been some kind of change in the zombies?
yeah.
I want
Are
to know
they-
now. Now I want to. Now I'm just curious. I don't really want. I'm not gonna curious enough to watch the show,
Oh God, no.
but I'm just
But
like mildly curious to know what's going on with the zombies at this point.
maybe they have mutated and they have like nails coming out of their mouths and screwdriver. Like maybe they find things they upgraded and they're like
Maybe.
robot zombies.
Like Army of the Dead.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, maybe.
They're like
That was my
sentient now.
That was
They
my
like
Jeff
become a
Goldblum.
species.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so this is going to lead into our conversation about season 1 of Invincible.
Yes.
I before I didn't talk to you this before we started recording, but I'm going to talk to you right now before we get into this.
Okay.
I personally believe we should not spoil. We should be spoiler free because I feel like the show works best when you're not spoiled.
Okay.
And I want this review to encourage people to go watch it if you haven't. And
Well,
I
I'll
feel
let
like
you know. Just
I feel like what?
From another show I watch now, that's like a reaction show. I just watched it before we started recording. And they were saying that the sales for the actual comic have increased on Amazon 200,000% or some crazy number like that
I believe it.
for the amount of comics that they were selling, like the graphic novels. And
I thought you were going to talk about what. Let me finish my thought.
But no, I'm just saying. So it's like people are getting into have the information. So it's not
I know, but I kind of
there's not that many people who are not watching Invincible at this point.
We don't know the ratings.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I am saying, like, personally, I feel we shouldn't spoil anything right now.
Well, we'll try to, but there might be some things. So if you haven't watched any of the season yet,
I don't want to
be
spoil
warned. We might accidentally say something in the discussion that might not the big spoiler, but little spoilers here and there that might come up.
I'm fine with little things, but the big stuff I want people to go watch this fresh.
Yeah, like the fact that Superman shows up and kills everybody is crazy.
If you go watch this and you kind of know what's happening, I kind of feel like that ruins the fun. And I think honestly, that's the way the show hooks you. Honestly,
you don't have to wait long for the big spoiler either. It's not like you have to wait till the season. It's pretty early on.
Have given two shits about the show if you hadn't said to watch it, and I would not give two shits about the show if that first episode pulled me in, like it did. With that being said, I guess overall thoughts for season 1. I think the show got better as it went on.
It definitely does.
There are a few things I could care less about, but overall, I'm still invested. I'm interested to see where it goes in season 2. What are your overall thoughts for season 1?
The first thing that came to mind with the show is it's been fun to find a new property. It's like we've all had like the Marvel, Star Wars, like the major hitters have been giving us content.
Yeah.
We haven't really had a new, fresh thing that come out lately. So it was nice to get a new like superhero thing that I didn't know about. I kind of knew about. I'd seen the books at the comic book shop and stuff, and by the time I like was going to try to get into it, it was already deep into this series, so I wasn't gonna like jump in and have to go back. But it's nice to like, it's a nice like teaser for the actual comic book because it doesn't really follow the same storyline as a comic book, from what I've been told. It varies here and there, and they jump around in the timeline. So I'm gonna start reading the book next week while I'm on vacation. I'm gonna start reading it on digital. So
and Robert Kirkman, he is actually
speaking of The Walking Dead,
he's very integral piece to the. He actually helps write with the show.
This or the TV show. Yeah, he did write the comic book. This was his thing after The Walking Dead, or while he was doing before The Walking Dead. One of the two.
I think could be in tandem at some points.
Okay.
He does a lot. I mean, right now he's doing Die. He also does
Power Man or Firepower.
Firepower, Oblivion Sun, which I really like.
Yeah. So
he does a lot.
He's a lot going on, but no, it was one of those things like I knew he'd done it, and I always thought about it, like getting into reading it, and then the show came out, and I just kind of just found the show because I'd seen the trailer pop up, and I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot. And the voice actors on it were pretty cool, like you said, Steven Yeun, J.K. Simmons, Sandra Oh, Seth Rogen, the guy from Book of Mormon plays the friend. Julian Jacobs plays Adam Eve.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like dragged in by those factors, and then just to find the show and then like get addicted to it, basically. Like I'm like all about Invincible. I want to like read the whole book and read all the stuff about it and know, like you with the boys. Yeah. Kind of. I want to like get into that vein and know what's going on.
Yeah. It's exciting when you read the book and you can kind of get ahead of the show.
Yeah.
Just to see what they changed, what's going to be changed, how they're going to handle some certain things,
But it's also fun too to see, like from the reviews I've seen from people who had read the book when it came out and now have watched the show and see their thing of, you think you know what's going on, and then it's been redone in different ways. Like the detective character, I guess, was never in the book. He was just for the show. So there's stuff like that. There's like little things that they've moved the characters around and they've changed things. And
it's kind of speaking of the detective, let's talk about him because I liked it. He reminded me, it was like a little bit Hellboy-esque.
Yeah.
Now,
Demon Detective is the character.
A demon detective, and he shows up and he becomes cold in the room, so he's like invisible, and he's in the room because it's cold, even though he's a demon. And then he gets thrown back into hell, and to get back to hell or something to redeem himself, he has to solve crimes, what have you,
or something, or he's doing something. They didn't really give a really big backstory on the character,
and then he disappears. And then,
but I guess there's a thing that his character will reappear down the road.
I hope so.
So, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of intrigue, a lot of mystery. And it's just great. It's cool to see like the birth of a superhero kind of too. You don't get that often. Like we always get like the easy, quick origin stories of these characters. But to see like a character like basically get his powers and then learn how to deal with that, and it deals more with like how do you deal as a teenager with like school and family and girls and this and that and the other thing. So it's a good show. I enjoy it immensely, and it's like being 8 episodes, it's easily digestible.
Yeah,
and they're about an hour long each, like 45 minutes. So,
I'm gonna share real quickly.
Okay.
Show you. This is a real quick share. Someone has the 2 omnibuses. No, 3.
3. There's 3 omnibuses.
Look at how thick they are.
It's like 150. It's 154 issues.
Yeah, but looks like 3 phone books. Yeah. Right. back in the day when phone books were really thick.
By the way, on Amazon, each one of those is $60 each.
Now watch. See that blue marker? I'll click the page. I click this. That's how much season 1 covered.
Yep.
On that part, and it ends the same way.
Yep.
With him talking to someone. It's not much of a spoiler, really, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is.
We've talked about it before. People know who that character is. We mentioned it in other shows. Larry the Alien.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen plays that character.
So I had to just show you that. That's how much. That's how much stuff they have to work with. I mean, even the boys. There's 6 volumes, and they're all over the place. They have done things that happened in that comic later and earlier. It's kind of like a smorgasbord.
Well, it's the nice thing. It's kind of like, I mean, everyone gave George Lucas grief for going back and redoing Star Wars and changing things and adding things and removing things and different stuff like that to the original trilogy. But this is kind of basically what the writers of these comic books now are doing. Like, the guy who did The Boys is working with Amazon on the TV show. So he's helping with the story, and he's kind of like making the story
fresh
work
for a new
for
audience.
A visual medium, basically. Yeah. And the same thing, Robert Kirkman, like he's working with them, and he's like, you kind of have that chance to things that you, after you wrote it years ago, you can now, like, you rethought it, you want to do it a different way, you wanted to present other characters that you wanted to have in there, but they just didn't make the book for some reason.
Yeah.
But now with this, you can do that. So it's like,
yeah.
So it's cool to see like a different. It's nice that it's not the exact story. So you're not like,
right.
If you've read the book, it's bland for you because it's the same story, just told in a visual way.
It's like getting a remix. You're getting a remix. But I mean,
it also makes it fresh and new. It's not the same.
So let's go over real quickly because we want to keep, we don't want to go over on time here.
Yes.
I would say for me, I mean, everything you said, I enjoy the characters, and I like how there's mystery behind a lot of stuff, so you don't know everything, which I enjoy. I enjoy that kind of stuff. For me, I mean, the high school stuff's my least interesting part. And that, in our chat, what I meant by that is I've seen it a million times.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it in Spider-Man, we've seen it. Now I will say this. In the middle of the series, this is a small spoiler. It's not really, but it is. You have the hero who has to keep his identity secret, and he has a love interest. We've seen it.
Yes.
Peter Parker, Mary Jane, we've seen this before, where he's constantly late because he has to go do superhero stuff, but she can't know, but she's getting fed up and pissed
Even
off.
Lois and Clark, Superman, Lois Lane, same thing.
Seen it a million times.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing new.
Yeah.
And they, in the middle of the season, they go through all that, and I know you got to. I'm just kind of like, I'm looking at my phone going, I don't care. Just get to the better stuff. But the payoff on this was nice. I would say, without spoiling anything, it was better than what I thought. And honestly, I don't think they need to be together at all. And I hope they don't ever get together because it just doesn't make any sense. I don't think they're a good couple anyway. Him and his love interest.
Well, that's happened to many a young man.
Yeah.
In high school.
I
falling for the wrong girl, and you end up realizing that down the road.
Yeah, and I think that's where it's going to go. And I hope they just kind of drop that because obviously we know who he could be with.
Yeah.
And I think that would be better.
Yeah.
And I would like to see that. So beyond that, that's my only small gripe.
All right. Well, here's the thing for you.
Yeah.
Based off the first season, who are your favorite characters?
My favorite characters, I would say the Demon Detective, even though we didn't get much about him. When he was on, I was really hoping that would
I'd
go
read that
further.
comic book, by the way. If
It
there's a
was
Demon
very,
Detective,
yeah,
there's a Demon Detective comic book, I'd read that.
it was very much. It kind of reminded me a lot of Hellboy a little bit.
Yeah, a little Hellboy mixed with Dick Tracy, kind of.
Because he's a detective in the
Yeah.
comic. So I like his character. I liked what's his name? I'm not gonna know why. I'm not gonna know names, but the boss, is it Cecil?
Cecil?
Cecil. I like Cecil,
Mm.
which is Goggins. I didn't know Goggins
Yes.
was doing the voice.
Yeah.
And it's weird. I didn't recognize his voice until I paused it on Amazon and tells you all
Yeah,
the
it tells you
voices.
who it is. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and now I cannot hear. Now I hear his voice. I was like, oh, that's Goggins.
Yeah.
I like his character. And like, who else do I like? I mean, Omni Man.
Yeah.
Obvious
Well,
reasons.
J.K. Simmons is just amazing, no matter what he is.
I think those are my three favorite there. What about you?
See, I'm like different. That's crazy. The friend,
His gay friend there.
his gay friend, the guy from Book of Mormon. I find that character hilarious, and I think he's great, and I need to see more of him in the show. I think he's a great foil for what's going on in the world. I don't know why, but I'm like, he's a terrible person, but Rex Sploder, just every time he's on, I just laugh immensely. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just find him hilarious. And then just the character Invincible and Adam Eve, of course.
Mark. His name, Invincible's. His name is Mark.
Yes. Well,
I thought you would. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to be obvious. I mean,
a
superhero named Mark. I mean, that's an easy way to get me to watch the show.
And Jason Mantzoukas does the voice for Exploder there.
Rex Sploder. Yeah.
How Does This Get Made podcast? And he's got a great voice for that character. So
yes, it's cool. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Fantastic casting.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I highly recommend people checking it out, giving it at least 2 episode shot at the very least.
Yeah.
Get past the animation. The animation still isn't my favorite part.
I know. I don't know why it bothers you so much, but
I don't think it's
very true to the books, which is nice.
Yeah. Listen, there's been moments where the animation is really interesting and good. Yeah. And I'm not like poo-pooing it. Like, I'm just saying, I don't know. It doesn't. The animation makes it look. You know what it is? This is what it is. The animation makes it look like it's a young adult, like teenager cartoon, and then
which it is,
but it's not. Don't teenagers, he's an adult.
That's the stick of the thing, though. Is it was like
an
that's
adult.
What the thing of
it's
it
an
was.
Adult cartoon.
Yeah, that's what the.
But the animation makes it look like a young person, like a child's show, and so I think the animation does get it more. I got used to it, and I'm fine with it. But like, I just recommend people checking it out at least.
And Larry the Alien's another one of my favorites.
Yeah, Larry the Alien,
which I hear is gets a bigger part in the coming seasons. So
obviously, because of the way it
goes on,
but yeah, I'm interested. I'm invested. I can't wait for season 2 and 3. But just give it a shot. I don't want to spoil anything because I feel like if I do, I'll ruin it. And it's one of those shows you gotta go in not knowing as much and be surprised. Yeah. It's a ride.
Going off of what you were talking about with the omnibuses, where that thing was that told the story, even stuff in that area that they've covered, there's still more stories inside that area that they haven't covered.
Yeah.
I guess there's like a huge big bad that still has not appeared yet.
Well, they established a new big bad, which.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying there was another one that was like early in the books, like it was in like the first like 30-some episodes. I understand that hasn't even been touched yet. So
you'll probably be coming up soon.
There's still way more story stuff that can be covered.
Right, and
it's a lot could go on for a while.
it's a lot of world building in this
Yeah.
season. They're building some enemies that will be more of a
Down the road
enemy down the
enemies.
road. Yeah, that you kind of see from the ground up. So it's
Yeah.
kind of laying the foundation of what's to come, I
Yeah.
think.
And it's
So
just very well thought out. That's the thing too. It's like the writing is really well done,
yeah,
which I know is a big thing for Rocky. So that's a good thing that maybe he'll try it out since the writing's so good. One of my favorite moments of the weekend, by the way.
we all got to pick on Rocky,
We got
including
to
his
pick on Rocky.
girlfriend, Stephanie.
Oh,
It was great.
that was fantastic.
I know. I told him we love him, never change.
Yeah,
But
no, well, he
it
never
was
will. He
great.
hasn't changed since we've met him, so he's not gonna change
It
now.
was great that finally hear from someone else that he's not the only. We're not the only ones he drives crazy.
Yes.
It's like she's like, yes, he does this all the time.
And the fact that just so everyone knows, we were at Matt's show. Really quick sidebar, and Rocky and his girlfriend Stephanie showed up, and Bryan was talking with them, and the conversation was about how Rocky dislikes everything.
Yeah.
And
when it's supposed to be just a fun movie,
yeah,
he can't just enjoy
he
it.
He can't enjoy it. He has to have to nitpick it.
Yeah. And you're like,
and the fact that Stephanie
right?
mentioned the fact that he pulls out IMDb in the movie theater and starts reading stuff about the movie as they're watching it.
At home, she'll say at home, he'll pull out his phone and start doing his IMDb facts, and she's just like, just watch it. Yeah. And with Rocky, it's like, if it's just a dumb movie, just enjoy the dumb movie. You don't have to, but whatever. It was fun just to know that someone else was on our side there.
And my impersonation of Rocky, I thought, was very on point.
But Mark, to wrap this all up, I mean, I give
watch Invincible. Wrapped up.
For me, a scale 1 through 10, wrap it up. I would say for me, it's like an 8.5. Definitely check it out. I think it's good. I think it will just get better. I hope it will just get better.
This is just the tip of the iceberg, as you were saying, and I would give it a 9 on a scale of 10. I give it the 9 because I went in not expecting anything and was pleasantly surprised about how good it was, to the point where, like I said, I'm going to start reading the book. Yeah. And to me, that's a sign of a good show. That's a comic book show. If it's a show that you've never read anything about, like Umbrella Academy or The Boys, the three of them are all shows that I didn't know before watching. And like Umbrella Academy, I've read the books now, and that's why I want to start doing The Boys next.
Yeah.
But now I got Invincible, so The Boys will probably get pushed back till after next season.
Yeah.
So
I gotta watch the Umbrella Academy. I gotta give that a third shot. I've seen the first episode like at least 4 or 5 times, and then I have never moved on. So I gotta give it a
it's
shot.
good. It gets better. It gets better.
I know. I know it does. It was just me. It was me. I always watch it late at night. I'm fucking tired. I can't stay awake. And I'm like, this is like, it has some great moments, but I'm like, oh, tired. Yeah. So also, if I can convince the significant other to watch it with me.
Yeah, that would help.
We watch a lot of shows together. And then when I watch shows by myself, I have to find time. So it's like, it's a little bit harder to do that.
Yeah. I hear you.
Anyway, Mark, that was our Invincible Season 1 non-spoiler review. Check it out.
Yes. And everybody, tomorrow, happy May the Force be with you day.
Oh, May the Force be with you, Mark.
Yes, and launch of Bad Batch tomorrow.
Oh, is that tomorrow?
Yes.
Coming on Tuesday?
Yeah, because of May the Force be with you.
Now, is it going to be a Tuesday show or a Friday show?
I think it's going to be a Friday show after tomorrow.
I love how these streaming services now, literally everything has to come out on a Friday. You know why?
Because you have the whole weekend to watch it.
Right, and it like on social media, it will blow up on a Friday night. It will get people to watch it. So it's like we went from like network television that would just be like Monday, Tuesday, every night had something. Now streaming's just like Friday. Yeah. Friday. Yeah. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
And then we all try to watch it on Friday because you don't want to be ruined if you waited until Sunday.
Yeah, and it's a quick series. I think it's only like 4 or 5 episodes. There might be another one on Friday. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check.
Oh,
because I think they're going to try to get it in before Loki starts. I think this
Well,
leads
yeah.
right into Loki. So
yeah, I think this. Yeah, Loki doesn't go out.
yeah, so I think it's only like 5 or 6 episodes or something
Right.
like that.
I'll check it out.
But
I'll check the Bad Batch out.
yeah,
We can
so
talk about it next week. Yeah, I'll watch the Bad
yeah,
Batch. We can talk about it next week.
yeah, because I'll be doing the show live from.
Oh no, you're on vacation,
Vacation.
Bart. No, take vacation off. We'll take the week off.
You sure?
Yes.
All right. Well, if anything big happens, we'll change things. But if
Yeah, but dude, enjoy
unless
your
it's just normal week.
enjoy your vacation. We're gonna take next week off. I'm glad you reminded me. We'll take next week off. We'll be back the following week
Yes.
with all your news and the Bad Batch.
Yeah. Because I'll be
All
at the
right.
beach. So
Yeah. All right,
even
Mark.
that beach life. As a kid
Subscribe
say.
to us on iTunes. We're on
Yes.
YouTube, Geekonomics Podcast. We're on Facebook.
Yes, we're gonna work on making our YouTube better.
I'm just gonna rename it when I upload this to YouTube, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
And like us on Facebook, and we're on the old Twitter, and we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yes.
2 and 2.
2 and 2.
With news and the Bad Batch.
That's right.
Have a good vacation, Mark.
Thank you. See everybody. Bye now.